Dr. Elena Vasquez rubbed her tired eyes as she reviewed the research proposal for the third time that morning. The Galactic Research Initiative had approved the most unusual cross-species study she had ever encountered, and as the lead xenobiologist aboard Research Station Harmony, the responsibility fell squarely on her shoulders. The subject of the study sat across from her desk, fidgeting with what appeared to be nervous energy. Kira belonged to the Nelvari species, a race of blue-skinned humanoids from the Andromeda sector who had recently joined the Galactic Council. Standing roughly 5 feet tall with large, curious eyes and delicate features, she looked remarkably human, despite her unusual coloration and the small, gill-like structures along her neck. "Dr. Vasquez," Kira began, her voice carrying the melodic quality typical of her species, "I understand this research may seem unconventional, but my people are facing a critical population decline. Our traditional reproductive methods have become increasingly inefficient over the past century." Elena nodded, setting down the proposal. The Nelvari reproduction process involved a complex ritual that required specific atmospheric conditions and rare minerals found only on their homeworld. With their planet's resources depleting and colony worlds lacking these essential elements, their birth rates had plummeted to dangerous levels. "I've studied human reproductive biology extensively," Kira continued, her enthusiasm evident despite her formal tone. "The efficiency and adaptability of human reproductive processes fascinate our scientists. If we could understand and potentially adapt some of these techniques, it might offer hope for my species." Dr. James Mitchell, the station's chief medical officer, entered the laboratory carrying several data tablets. His weathered face showed the skepticism that had marked most of their preliminary discussions about the project. "The physiological differences are substantial," he said, joining their conversation. "While both species are humanoid, the internal reproductive systems have evolved completely differently. The Nelvari process relies on electromagnetic fields and specific chemical compounds that simply don't exist in human biology." Kira straightened in her chair, her determination clear. "But the fundamental principles might translate. Human reproduction succeeds in diverse environments, requires minimal external resources, and maintains genetic diversity through random combination. These are exactly the advantages my people need." Elena found herself impressed by the young alien's dedication. Kira had spent 2 years studying human physiology, learning multiple Earth languages, and developing theoretical frameworks for cross-species reproductive adaptation. The research proposal itself was thorough and scientifically sound, even if the premise seemed almost impossible. The first phase would involve detailed comparative analysis, Elena explained, reviewing the methodology. "We need to understand exactly how human reproductive hormones function and whether similar compounds could be synthesized for Nelvari physiology." Over the following weeks, the research team expanded to include Dr. Lisa Chun, a reproductive endocrinologist, and Dr. Marcus Thompson, a genetic engineer. The laboratory became a hub of activity as they began the painstaking process of mapping the biological differences between the two species. Kira proved to be an exceptional research partner. Her scientific background, combined with intimate knowledge of Nelvari biology, provided insights that human scientists alone could never have achieved. She volunteered for numerous tests, enduring uncomfortable procedures with remarkable patience. "The hormonal cascades are surprisingly similar," Dr. Chun reported during one of their weekly progress meetings. "While the specific compounds differ, the regulatory mechanisms show remarkable convergence. It's as if both species evolved toward similar solutions for reproductive timing and preparation." The breakthrough came during the 4th week of research. While analyzing Kira's blood samples after exposure to synthesized human reproductive hormones, the team discovered something unexpected. Her body had begun producing modified versions of the compounds, creating hybrid molecules that retained the functionality of human hormones while remaining compatible with Nelvari physiology. "This is unprecedented," Dr. Thompson muttered, staring at the molecular structures on his display. "Her body is essentially teaching us how to bridge the biological gap between our species." Kira studied the results with growing excitement. The implications extended far beyond simple hormone therapy. The hybrid compounds suggested a path toward developing reproductive techniques that could function in any environment, using resources available throughout the galaxy. "We're not just adapting human methods," she realized aloud. "We're creating something entirely new." The team worked tirelessly to understand the mechanisms behind the hybrid compound formation. Elena found herself staying late in the laboratory, fascinated by the elegant solutions that emerged from combining two completely different evolutionary approaches. As the research progressed, they developed a theoretical framework for what they termed adaptive reproductive biology. The system would allow Nelvari individuals to reproduce successfully regardless of environmental conditions, while maintaining the genetic diversity essential for species survival. The applications could revolutionize how all species approach reproduction in spacefaring civilizations, Elena noted in her preliminary report to the Galactic Research Council. This work might provide solutions for any species facing reproductive challenges due to environmental changes or resource limitations. Kira stood before the research team as they prepared their final presentation, her blue skin glowing with pride and anticipation. The young Nelvari scientist had not only found hope for her people, but had contributed to a discovery that might benefit countless species throughout the galaxy. "Thank you," she said simply, her melodic voice carrying profound gratitude. "You have helped me give my people a future among the stars." Dr. Vasquez smiled, realizing that their research had achieved something more significant than they had originally imagined. They had not merely adapted human reproductive techniques for an alien species. They had created a new field of study that would advance reproductive science for all intelligent life in the galaxy.